Welcome back, sweeties. It is another Saturday here with the crew. We've got Daniel and Jota in the building or the house, the apartment.
In the studio.
Yeah, in the studio.
We bought the entire building for our studio.
Exactly. So now we own this place. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we're here. Say hello. I'll let you guys say hello real quick. Daniel. Oh no, not yet. They don't even know that we have guests. Oh, they do, I guess, because they have cameras. So you guys see this. I forgot there was cameras. So I'll let you introduce yourselves. We have some guests, as you guys can see already. I forgot again that there was cameras that you guys can see this.
Good job.
So I'll let you from my right hand side, Laura and Ali.
Yes, it is.
So I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, well, hi, you guys there. And this is Laura, or Laura. So I am from Colombia, raised and born. And then I have Ali here.
Yes, Ali, Bayou, her fiance. We met about 6 years ago, and we've been together ever since. And I'm local, and very glad to be a part of the podcast today. We're going to find out what's going on.
Thanks for joining us.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
We'll pass it on to El Juzgador over here.
Come on, man. all right. My name is Juan.
Yeah.
Everybody calls me Juanka, and I'm from Honduras. Came here like 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Wow.
Excuse my English. Sucks, but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
No, please don't.
Hi, everybody. It's Daniela,
The female.
the female,
That's right.
also known as the female. I'm pretty sure some of you know me by now. I am the sisters of the podcast.
The sisters, plural.
Oh, the
Yeah.
sister. I am the sister of the boys from Listen, Sweetie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
Welcome, Danny. Thanks for joining us, everyone. So we have an interesting topic today. The title is, I guess it's
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, and we call it that because Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's intercultural, interracial couples, right? So both of you, as you can see, like Ali and Laura, they're from different parts of the world, and then same thing with Daniela and Juanka. Daniela's from Bolivia, Juanka's from Honduras. So that's kind of what we wanted to talk about and see how that influenced the relationship and how it influenced you individually, how much have you grown, and then maybe how much you've also learned to deal with, like accept and like be okay with the differences in the cultures and stuff like that. So anything else you guys want to add to that introduction?
No, I think
You covered everything.
I think that was it.
Thanks for doing our job.
No problem, Neil. No problem. So we'll get started with the questions. We have a bunch of questions that we wanted to talk about, but before we get to the official questions, I wanted to ask you guys, how long have you been together? I know you guys are engaged.
Yes.
You guys are not engaged, and you're gonna be never engaged. So we're cool with
One day.
we're cool with that. but you guys are engaged. How long have you been together?
So I mentioned before we've been together for about 6 years, maybe closer to 7 now. Been
Nice.
living together for about 4, and marriage is on the horizon. Obviously, this past year kind of put a stall on our plans, but they are picked back up, and hopefully we'll be wed this fall. October 10th is the date. So
Nice,
wow.
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
start
Everybody's invited.
start the countdown. Exactly.
I'm kidding.
Right.
No, but how long have you been engaged for? Sorry, maybe I missed that.
So I proposed last year. It was last February 1st. So
Nice.
21-20, and we'll be
Yeah.
married on 10-10-21. So
Nice,
Yeah,
nice, very nice.
We literally got engaged right before everything happened with COVID. so
actually a month
Did-
which
before.
was
just about.
Did you guys get engaged right before we had that little Maggiano's thing?
yeah.
Was it before?
Yes,
Yeah,
before
yeah, we must have
because
been
I
at- yeah, we
remember
must have
like
been
showing
engaged.
up the ring and stuff
Ah,
to the
yeah.
party. so
Nice.
that was right before.
That's very cool.
Yep. So we've been enjoying an engaged or enlonged engagement period, but it's been great. So looking forward to tie the knot.
Thank you.
Enjoy it in the back.
It gave you
Well,
more time to like.
Yeah. Well,
to-
honestly, we're still planning the wedding right now, and that's I don't know if you guys may go through it at some point, or if you have already, it's definitely a process, and us not going through it before, it's a lot. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going through now. But once that day comes, we'll be very happy.
Hota knows all about that.
Oh yeah, we actually got married in Argentina.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, and it was a lot of preparation for it, and it being overseas, it kind of multiplied the stress, and it was a good experience though, because you'll enjoy it. You'll look back on it and say, "Oh my God, we did this, we did that."
Definitely.
It was, but yeah, there are times where you feel like, man, should I have proposed? I'm just kidding.
All right, somebody knew where I was coming from.
I'm just joking.
So
The timeline though.
Oh yeah, we got engaged 2019. 2000.
That's 19 we got married.
My COVID timeline is
Yeah,
completely off.
definitely.
2017 we got engaged. We got married 2019.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah, it was a little while. We engaged for a little while. It's normal, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's a good time to enjoy each other, and
Yeah.
it's no pressure at that time. It's
How was it for you guys? Is it like calling each other like fiancé? Like,
Oh, well,
Sounds
we
so
were
fancy.
calling each other novio and novia for so long. Yeah, that kind of hard to get over. But now, since we've been engaged for over a year, yeah,
It
fiancé kind of
feels-
just rolls off the tongue, I guess.
Yep.
yeah,
Feels
yeah,
natural now.
Yeah,
yeah. Pretty soon you're gonna be saying my husband, my wife.
that's
you know?
right. Yeah, that will be a big change, but looking forward to it.
it takes some time to get adjusted to. I remember when I got married to Nella, and you know Nella.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know her
Yeah.
too, right?
Mhm.
So she yeah, it was tough, like, because you introduce people to new people, and like, this is my wife, and they're like looking at you, when do you marry? Like, because
So young.
yeah, that kind of thing. You don't feel right saying it, and then but once you know.
You don't feel right. Oh God, that's a choice of words.
No, I mean, it's like it's
No,
strange. It feels strange, like saying this is my wife, or and being introduced as a
feels
husband. It's
different.
Yeah,
It's different. It's weird.
It's kind of like a very adulty thing
Yeah,
to say, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
that's-
Because
yeah.
you feel still young in mind.
Yeah.
You know, you forget that you're 35. so yeah, but so we already covered a couple of these questions. Let me ask you this, and you guys don't have to answer it because this is maybe too personal. But if you feel like you can, please do. Is this your first intercultural relationship, or have you dated someone in the past that was not from the same culture as you?
Yes. She knew
Yeah.
that anyway. But, you know,
bullets.
I can elaborate, but I would just say that,
Elaborate.
coming from a multicultural house, my dad was from Libya, which is right
Oh,
next
okay.
to Egypt in North Africa, and my mom was from New York, but kind of a European, had many European descent there. But growing up in that household, kind of seeing it there, and then growing up in this area, we're in Northern Virginia. It's very diverse. There's a lot of many cultures represented, and you just kind of get used to, I guess, or just don't even think about it in a way that you are just interacting with multicultures throughout your day, and it's really just not something that you really dwell on. But once you get into it, you can't really help who you fall for at certain times of your life, and just so happens they could have been from a different background. But I've definitely been exposed to many cultures and very grateful for it. So yeah, I've been in a couple.
It helps you grow, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
diversity is key, and it's kind of the spice of life. But
Okay, am I the first Latina?
yes, she would be my first Latina. So I guess it kind of just stops there. I guess you can explore for as long as you want, but when you find something great, you kind of just end up, settling down, I guess. But
Okay.
There you go,
Good.
Laura.
Hey,
Yeah.
he put a ring on it,
That's
so
right.
that's
exactly,
That's
I can say what I want right now.
Since he talked about really quick, since he talked about his mom, Jean, she's a singer and a performer. She
Oh,
plays
nice.
guitar and she plays the piano. So she may be listening. I hope she is. If not, I'm sure she'll see you later. But shout out to Jean, mom, and shout out to Jean.
What's her? Does she have like a Facebook or Instagram that we can tag her on for when we
Oh
post?
my God, we're horrible. Yes, she does. I give you the details later.
Yes.
Cool.
Very good.
She's
Stay
awesome.
You
tuned.
said her name is Gina.
Jean
Jean.
Bayou.
Jean Bayou.
Yeah.
Jean Bayou.
Shout
Jean
out.
Bayou.
There we go. We got our first plug in there.
Yeah.
and then hopefully we can invite her if she's down for
She's
a
a
musical episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's is in the
And a
area now, or
guitar
she's
player.
in New York still?
Yeah.
Well, no, she lives in Florida now. She's
Oh,
from
okay.
New York, but she travels the country. I got
The world.
Yeah, I had a sister who was living in New Orleans for the past 6 years. They actually just moved up this past year. And,
Okay.
Another sister in Paris. So my mom kind of just goes where her kids are. So she's lucky that she's got all kind of areas to go to. But yeah, she'll go to wherever. I guess there's a mic and an open mic, I'd say. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
These
she's
mics
cool.
are wide open. So.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I also wanted to answer the question because this is not my first interracial relationship either. By the way, but it wasn't that of a great experience. It was different. I learned a lot of things, but yeah.
Is this the first time you hear this?
No, I'm going through the head here, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but
Okay, good.
No, there, Juanka?
What was the question? Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is this the first intercultural, interracial relationship you've been in?
I'll go first since mine is easier. I actually have never dated before, so yes, it is.
wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it is
They-
not for me though.
There you go.
And she already
Juanka's
knows.
been around the block.
I've dated people, yeah,
People.
from Peru.
People.
Plural
Okay.
at the same time. Juanka.
Just
Oh.
never
Well,
mind.
no, you have to date around to maybe appreciate what you have. So
Yeah, now I appreciate her very much.
absolutely.
I just want to say that I love you.
All right. Juanka's a bit nervous. We can all tell.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
It's all good. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, Daniela didn't date around because, I got 3 guys at home. Everybody was scared to approach her, so.
I got a question for you
Very
guys. though.
sheltered.
I actually think that has to do with my personality.
There you
but
go.
Okay.
What was your question, Seth? Go ahead.
How did you guys feel when I started dating her?
It was all good, man. I like, for me at least, it was never like, I was never worried about it. I don't know. It was weird. It was the first time that I found out that she had a boyfriend. It was kind of strange, but
It was weird. It was.
Did you guys know each other beforehand?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
we knew him.
Yeah, I
before.
actually
Okay, so
met
yeah, that
him
does-
through him. They play
Ah.
soccer together.
That's
Through Daniel.
when you meet
Oh,
somebody
no,
through
I don't
people.
play soccer.
Actually-
I don't play soccer.
Actually, the first time we met, it was at during a parade dancing. I think it was back in where was it? Winchester.
Winchester.
Yeah. So we used to dance
Okay.
in the same Bolivian group that, Bolivian dance. We all did that. Evelyn, all of us, we did it before. And so that's where we met. That's where I met him. And then,
I thought you were pointing at Daniela. I was like, that's where I met her.
yeah, her too. No, but yeah, that's how we met him. And yeah, that's why I was cool with it. I didn't have no beef
Yeah.
with it. But yeah. How about you, Daniel? You saying it was weird for you?
No, it was weird for you. I remember it.
You for me?
Yeah, you look like you just saw a ghost, man.
It was weird because I didn't know anything
Me
about it.
too. I remember that.
Because
You weren't there.
he
Oh, man.
because he told me like I knew already and I didn't know about it. So that's the only reason
I guess that's
was
a
surprised.
question then. How long was it going on before you
Yeah,
found
exactly.
out?
There you go.
I think it was like
Yeah,
a month.
that's the next question.
later.
How long?
I was pretty quick. So I'm not afraid of my brothers. Well, I am a little bit. No,
You
but
respect
I
them.
I definitely didn't know how to let them know about it.
She
but
asked me to do it.
yeah, I asked my twin to do it.
She told me first, and then I had to tell them.
I was like,
I
can you
told
you
him.
tell them?
I told him almost like that same weekend, and then Ronald I forgot to tell, and then when like I already said this in one episode where Nella and Lady were here. We were eating dinner and then we were talking about something. I think it was because they were being late all the time or something. And Ronald said something that kind of just like, oh shoot, I forgot to tell him that they're dating. So then I told him, and then I swear to God, his face looked like he saw a ghost. Nella and Lady were laughing like crazy.
Oh man.
It was just funny.
No, it's not funny to me.
Yeah, first thought that came to my mind was like, you can find a Bolivian. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm Bolivian too now.
He's become Bolivian whether he wanted it or not. But you've been in the Bolivian community for even before you met us.
Yeah,
right?
I met a bunch of Bolivian people in school. During school, I never hanged out with my Catracho or
Yeah,
like Honduran
Honduran
people.
people.
Mostly, it was a bunch of Bolivians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
so I know a lot about Bolivian culture,
Yeah.
especially because of you guys.
Yeah, Bolivian food, Bolivian dances, and
Women.
Bolivian brothers.
Oh, women.
You.
Making it awkward for all of us.
All right, there we go. So what's the next question before we move on? to, or before we continue on to this, like probe of Juanka. What was that?
Oh, our parents are watching.
Hi, mommy.
Hey, mama.
Daddy.
Hola, mami, papi.
Hola, tia.
Papa.
Tia too.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
dude,
go.
yeah.
Everybody watching at home. Is just them watching us?
I don't know. They're the ones who wrote.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they're the ones
You
who-
can see it right there.
Alright,
They're
so
like
I'll let you
speaking
guys
Spanish.
Ask, I'm gonna read through some questions and ask. I'm gonna ask the next one there, and you'll know what I'm asking. So, being in, I mean, I think it's gonna be, maybe for both, but we'll see. Has it been hard being in intercultural relationship for you guys? And you mentioned something in the past it has for your previous
Yeah.
but in this current, what is it specifically that made it hard? Because I mean, like being in a relationship just
It's
alone
hard.
is hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know, I have a wife, so I know that. But
It's
has
work.
it made it harder being from a different culture?
I guess that kind of really depends on the person, the people in the relationship. You know, cultures. Yeah, there's differences there, but if the people are not willing to put those, aside or willing to compromise or just kind of meet in the middle there, then there's definitely issues. But for us, again, the appearance is as real as it is. We get along great, and there's really never any issues there. We can maybe find something small to fight about and just to keep things interesting. But for the most part, we appreciate each other's story and background, and I think that's key to our relationship or any multicultural relationship or racial relationship.
Yeah, I agree with him because there is pleasure in differences. I think I forgot how that goes. I might know it in Spanish better, but so I think it is about the person because the personality has to be very understanding and you have to feel respected and appreciated, and you kind of have to, like, for example, for us, he embraced my Colombian culture of Latina culture, so it's a lot of different things for him, but he respects that, and I feel like he loves me because of that. And
It's our differences bring us closer together.
exactly,
though, so.
a difference.
But and just to go on my culture there, I guess just my dad was Arab, and I grew up Muslim, and then again my mom I guess converted when they got married.
Yeah.
And so we grew up in this area, and you have a lot of cultures, but I grew up Muslim, and that kind of gave me a perspective where I was in a room and I didn't necessarily understand the language that was being spoken at the time. I didn't unfortunately learn Arabic. I wish I had. But no, we didn't. But still, I was exposed to that environment and kind of just thrust it in there. And so you kind of you become a little more comfortable. So I was fortunate to be able to, be exposed to that. And so whenever I'm with her family, my Spanish is coming around. But again, it's not as where it needs to be. But I'm comfortable just being around people who are just speaking another language because, again, maybe some people could be, uncomfortable in that situation. But I find myself to just be okay with it, especially when, when it's family and you can just kind of tell the feeling and the vibe. And that's really what, that I feel her culture and her family, most importantly, kind of give off. So that's kind of what I got off of it. And not to say that my family or the Muslim way or the Arab way is just kind of not colder, but it does. The Colombian culture is very warm, I would just say, and they're very inviting, and I was and I sensed that immediately. So it was something new to me, and I kind of just took it and have enjoyed it. So that's
it's
where I'm
been
coming from.
easy
Very
for us.
easy. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, because so like you guys mentioned it, usually it's one of the two that'll kind of not divert, but become more attracted and embrace that other culture. Usually, I think, right?
No, absolutely. That's what happened
Yeah.
with my parents, where my mom kind of embraced my dad's culture. Otherwise, that may not have worked, But no, you're absolutely right. So it's kind of trying to find a balance, or
And he is a very American culture. You are
that's
very
true.
American
Yeah,
culture,
I guess
and I like it 'cause I
American
live
culture.
here,
I'll put
so-
that in quotes, but
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, you're right. I would say yes. I enjoy my football, and Thanksgiving
football.
is great, and and again, growing up Muslim, we celebrated the holidays. There was, it was down around Christmas time. It happened to be on Christmas. We call it the holidays, but again, that's all just part of, I guess, just embracing the American culture, you would say. But it just.
So touching on the Christmas topic, you guys celebrate the 24th or the 25th?
because I know as Latinos, like we celebrate on the 24th, right? Christmas Eve. All the way to like the next day, right? Like that's the Latino way.
She would want that.
Yeah, I would love that. But actually, my preference also changed. I have gotten older, and we don't party until next day. Maybe if I go to Colombia, we probably will.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But,
I'm a little too boring, I guess.
So our families are very diverse too. Like his brother, his two sisters are married to two different cultures.
Yeah. So again, her being exposed to my family, my one of my brother-in-laws is his dad was from Italy, so he's kind of like me, a first generation person here. His mom was French, and so he had he speaks Italian, and he has all his families from the old school. They all live in Italy.
Yeah, and they celebrate Christmas on the 24th. So now that we get together with them, we celebrate on the 24th, which I like.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then we
try to party as long as we can.
We
don't make it to midnight most of the time.
We get together on the 24th, which is
yes,
good.
we're starting new traditions, and that's kind of when the family starts to grow, and I have two sisters like she mentioned, and the other one is in France with her French husband as well, and they have a son, and the son only speaks French. I can't wait to meet him here. But anyway, it's just a lot of different cultures going on, and I think we all kind of appreciate it. But when it comes down to it, it all just we all love each other and are willing to embrace the other side of things. So
no, I love the simple fact that you grew up with multiple like different cultures, different backgrounds, and it just kind of keeps on going.
Yeah, and again, just kind of makes you again appreciate everything, and just kind of you like seeing something new. And definitely my first Latina, and I just heard things about Colombians and Colombian women. They're very nice, and the culture is very inviting, and they like to have fun. Yeah, absolutely. And she has not disappointed.
Remember when I teach you in Spanish, the first thing that I taught you in Spanish?
Oh man, I do actually. Yeah, and this is remember it's about 6-7 years ago. But mi novia es muy celosa. First thing she taught me. And,
oh my God, that was really funny. I can't believe he remembers.
Of course I do.
That was the first thing I taught him. So if a Hispanic chick approached him, I told him to tell her that.
So that was it. But
and I'm not jealous. That's just a joke.
There's always truth behind the joke.
Exactly. Truth and jest there.
That's good. Thank you. I think just to kind of like piggyback on what he was saying, I think because you were exposed to so many cultures from the beginning, you've been able to embrace it, and it's a lot easier to absorb. Because I can appreciate that there's difficulty in embracing something that you don't know. I think there's a lot of people that have fear in that, but it's good that we have this opportunity here in this area that is so diverse that you can learn about so many things that otherwise we probably wouldn't have, like back in Bolivia. So I'll let you guys also, Daniela and Juanka, share a little bit about what you feel of. Is there a difficulty, even though you guys are both Latino, right? Both of you guys are from. Is there you're Bolivian and you're Honduran? Is that how you say it? I don't know. Yeah. So then, is there a difficulty between the cultures? Because they're not the same culture, even though people like to think that they are, but they're not. Is there a difficulty?
I don't think so. Like he said, it depends on the person. For me, I just embrace the Bolivian culture and then just go along. I guess when it comes to like food, like you guys like eating something that I don't. That's because it's just me. I'm very picky. Yeah. And I think that would be the only issue.
Yeah. We know.
You guys all know.
I'm kidding, but yes.
I think it's different for me because...
Yeah, there we go. The truth comes out.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit different for me. He is actually very Bolivian, even though he's not from Bolivia. So when I guess, started dating him, or even just like when we were friends, it was very easy to be around him just because of the way he was. He didn't mention anything about Honduras. He didn't even have an accent. He didn't speak different. His Spanish is very...
Bolivian?
Yeah, it's even Bolivian. It's just, it doesn't...
That's not. It's neutral.
To me. Okay, so it's neutral, yeah.
It was not.
I guess you're just used to him, though.
Yeah. No, because when I met his family, it was really hard for me to understand them. They speak very fast. They have a bit of an accent. I don't know how to describe their
Yeah.
accent. It just flows a lot faster. Oops.
It's
It
not.
flows-
Sorry, it's not the accent. It's the way they use slang words.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
from,
a
like,
there's
so
also
she
a
would
lot of
yeah.
words, right? Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
like their words are different, and when they would talk to me, I have to ask them to repeat it, even though it was Spanish. I would ask them to repeat it, or I would ask him to translate that.
Yeah, can you translate that Spanish for me real quick?
Like, what are they saying?
And-
Like, what?
And I was like, yeah, they said this, and I would repeat the same thing they would say. I was like, no,
Slower.
you know what. And she was like, you know what I want to understand. But I
Yeah.
would just repeat the same slang words, but just because I would just like to joke around with
Yeah,
her.
trying to like poke fun at her. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the
Making
most
fun of my
difficult
sister.
part.
What?
The
What?
language.
Yeah, the language. The
They
language.
speak the same language.
The hardest part for me was the language.
No,
How about
I
the
think that makes sense.
How about the food?
The food is different.
My question, man.
Oh, my bad.
The food is different. I definitely love their food. They eat a lot of like tortillas and stuff like that, and I really like that. I also am not much of a picky eater, but that was very easy for me.
Also, because he is a picky eater.
Did I say also? Did I say also?
Yeah. Opposite to him, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are both very picky eaters. You eat on this tiny little bowl.
It doesn't make me picky. It just makes. Anyways.
Smart.
Yeah,
just
I agree.
portion control.
Yes. But yeah, piggybacking on the language thing, because I mean, Laura, Spanish across like the continent is different, right?
Yes, it is, and there are words in Bolivia that are different to Colombia.
Yeah.
In Honduras too.
Puerto Rico. I mean, there's
Puerto
Argentinian
Rico,
too, right?
yeah, Argentinians.
yeah. We
I
can't
love
understand
the accent,
Argentinians.
and I love everybody's accent. I like how it sounds, but yeah, there are different words that we don't even know what it means. It's not that we don't have a different word for it. It's just that it's like totally, completely different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I struggle a lot actually. When we went to Argentina, the first time I went before we got married, speaking to them here, I think they kind of got used to the Spanish and kind of got a little bit more neutralized. But over there, it's kind of going back, and they can feel themselves again, and they're all talking. So when I went, it was like machine guns. I was like,
That's crazy.
And then they would ask me something. They were like, "Oh yes, I think," And then like I would just like him. I would, or just like her. I would ask her, "Oh, what did they say? Oh, they said a joke and this and that." I was like,
Oh, they said a joke. Oh,
yeah. It's
This
hard.
This isn't making us look good.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's just Bolivians. They speak a little slower.
Yeah, we pronounce words and sound like letters differently too. I mean, something basic like that. But yeah,
Z's, R's.
it's the Z's and the R's or the R's sound like Z's. So it's all good. But yeah, we do have different accents, and even I think within the country, like in Bolivia, it's like alone we have like different accents. And same thing, I'm guessing in Colombia, right? And I'm guessing same thing in Argentina.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But I think that's enough about the language. Any other questions, Daniel? Say it one more time. There's a question. Oh, let's go ahead.
You're gonna have to take over.
What's the question? Which one is it?
I can't read it.
The third one. Esta pregunta es para Juanka. ¿Estás feliz de haber conocido a la comunidad boliviana y qué es lo que más aprecias? So to translate that to everyone who only speaks English or not Spanish,
Thank you.
This question is directed to Mr. Juanka. It's like, are you happy to have met or known the Bolivian community, or to be part of the Bolivian community? And what is the one thing that you appreciate the most about the Bolivian community?
Yeah, I'm very happy to. How do I say it? To be part of the Bolivian community.
Yeah.
Mainly because I guess you guys are. How can you guys say it?
Welcoming.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to know that.
Oh,
Yeah, say it in Spanish and then I'll
Yeah.
translate.
But it'd be hard for me to say it in Spanish because I have to think about it.
Alright.
Yeah, like you said, you guys are very welcoming, like very sociable. I'm not a very, I mean, I guess in the beginning I'm not very social because I get shy. But when I get to know you, I'm like completely different.
Yeah.
I'm very outgoing, but
Yeah, we know.
I'm gonna translate.
And I love your food, guys. I really do.
Thank
I
you.
thought it was like, I love your sister.
No, yeah, I do. But
No,
Man.
you can't. No
she
more.
cooks great.
She
I'll
does
tell you
cook
that.
great.
She cooks.
Well, let me
Better
translate
than
real
you,
quick.
Daniel.
Let me translate real quick for our Latinos only. Dice que le gusta ser parte de la comunidad boliviana mayormente por nosotros porque él es un poco tímido y que como nosotros somos un poquito más amigables con él, entonces él tiene esa facilidad de soltarse y expresarse más fácilmente. Y que también le gusta mucho la comida, pero no mucho a nuestra hermana. Mentira, los dos.
That's cool. Thank you for the question. Who's that?
Mom.
Oh,
Mom, that's mom or dad.
oh. Thanks, mom and dad.
all the way from Brazil.
As Daniel would say, muchas gracias, mamita.
Don't talk like that. Don't talk
More
like
like
that.
tres veces, man.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
All right, there. Go ahead and ask your question.
What
You
was
had
my question? You took the question about the food. That
about the
was
food.
mine. Yeah.
There's so many questions on that
Yeah,
list.
I-
Come on.
I didn't read them all.
Okay.
So the one that I do remember is when it comes to. I mean, you guys are just now newly engaged, or I guess a year engaged.
Yeah.
Soon to be newlyweds. Having kids is going to be, I think, the next logical step for you guys. Being from different cultural backgrounds, how do you think raising the kids will be? Do you think there'll be any conflicts?
Well, of course, we don't foresee any conflicts, but I'm sure there may be a couple along the line. We'll handle them, when that time comes. Again, we're both open people, so I grew up Muslim. I wouldn't say I'm a practicing Muslim now, and she is Catholic, and I've embraced a little bit, just learning a little bit more about her religion. I do like some of its teachings. She's done the same for Islam, and yeah, that will be a bridge we'll cross when we get there. I feel like, but yeah, that is something that is definitely needs to be talked about. There's a conversation I'm sure in our future about that, but. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll maybe watch my my niece and nephew and see how my brother or how my sister raises their kids for maybe get an example. But yeah, we were hoping you wouldn't ask us that one.
No, it's not true.
It's
not
just-
true.
yeah, it's-
I think there's some things that I want to like I don't know, baptism and
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say
some
that.
things that I want to do because that's how I grew up, and my mom, my family will want to see that, and I want to please them, and I think you are okay with it.
Yeah. Again, yeah. I believe that religion definitely has a place when you're raising a child, and it's necessary regardless, because all religions to me, preach a good thing, and if you can convey that to your child, then that's a great base to start with. They may make their own decisions or come up with their own ideas later on, but I think it is a very necessary part of growing up. So yeah, and I think we're both on board on that fact. So if we can start there, then I think we'll be okay.
Yes.
That's good, and I think you bring up a great point, because I think working it out and kind of talking about it is what makes it work, because I was raised Catholic, right, and then Nella is also Catholic. We haven't baptized our kids yet. And there's that want, and from the families, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing as you were saying, Laura, right?
Yeah.
They want you to baptize them, and I have other ideas when it comes to that religious part, that particular base of that. But Nella and I talked about it, and we came up to agreement. I think it becomes a decision of the couple that let's move forward with this or not, for whatever the reasons may be. But I think it is one of the things. Religion is one of the things that, at least for me, looking at it from the outside, because I've never been in a multicultural or relationship, right? That could create I don't want to say
tension.
Exactly, some tension
Yeah,
and
I
some
can see it.
yeah, because it's do you like you say you're practicing or non-practicing?
No, not non-practicing. That again was my base. I've gone on my own spiritual journey, I would say,
Yeah.
and kind of you just try to learn the most you can about all religions and aspects and perspectives where people are coming from, and then you can kind of formulate your own belief system. But yeah, again, it's a good base. I think why it worked for my parents is because my mom did convert to Islam, and that was good for her and the family at the time, and to raise the kids, because my dad was a little stubborn on that topic. So again, it really does depend on the person. But he was able to compromise a few of his Muslim values to again celebrate the holidays and embrace the American side of things, where he may not agree with all of it, but again, he also understands this is the country that you live in, and you kind of just take the good parts, what you can. But he still was able to take us to the mosque, and we did learn a lot about how he wanted us to learn. And but yes, again, that Catholicism is something that I've been interested in, and I've been lucky that I've been exposed through Laura, and I know that her family does. Like all families, they kind of put a little bit of pressure on you to do what they think you should do, and it's all symbolic. And I think again, it's really I won't get too caught up in the why am I doing this, I don't agree with it. I just think it's all positive, and if you can kind of please people and try not to take any negativity from it, then it's not a bad thing. But yeah, I maybe need to learn a little bit more about what actual the meaning behind being Well, actually, I think I know. But maybe that's for another podcast. Sorry.
We'll get there sometime.
Yeah, but still.
Laura's like, don't worry, I'll teach you.
Yeah, exactly. That's on TV.
Yeah, the Pope and stuff. What?
Did you guys see that video of that one kid who was getting baptized?
Oh,
No.
Have you guys seen?
Yeah.
So you have?
I have.
So there's this dude, I forget, I don't know what you call the dude who baptizes the father, the priest, right? He's in the pool of water, and he's saying his thing. I don't know the whole thing. He's like, in the name of the Father. The little kid's just excited. He's like, all right. And then he keeps talking, and he's like, all right, I'll do it. And then he just just does it himself.
Okay, wrong one. Yeah,
That's
I didn't
hilarious.
see that one.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I'll show you guys, but we can go
That's
talk.
funny.
Yeah, how are you gonna show the people watching?
Like this.
How about for you guys? What was the question?
Well, they're not having kids, so
That's
Say,
true.
yeah, they're not allowed.
We're gonna be having 3 kids in this future. Maybe 4.
As a family unit, we decided they're not having kids. No, okay, but yeah. But when you guys, so there's a difference in religion for you guys too, right?
A little bit.
You guys are both a little bit atheists, right?
No.
Oh,
No?
I'm not.
Oh, Juanka, yeah, you're right.
I'm not atheist.
What
I
are
don't
you?
know what I am, to be honest. I'm just more I don't know. We were raised
Spiritual.
Catholic, yes, but because of Juanka, I've been more into is it Christian?
Chris, that's how.
I guess you get some Christian values.
I got a little bit of Christian values in me now. He's taught me a lot. But yeah, I guess with the same thing as you guys, holidays and the baptism and going to church and all that, it's a little different for me. His family, they go to church every Sunday. I think they have a few meetings
During the
throughout
weekdays.
throughout the week. And they always invite us, and we always say, yeah, sure, we'll go. But I kind of don't want to. I don't know. It's just, it was different for me growing up, and it's a little bit harder for me. But he definitely keeps me, how do you say it?
Interested.
Interested. He watches a lot of YouTube videos from priests and stuff. And he shows me that, and I learn a little bit from there. Things that I learned when I did go to church, but I forgot. So he definitely refreshes my memory.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I don't know. How's it gonna be for you? He's also very laid back on it.
Yeah, I don't really practice Christianity like my parents do. It's just I just go on, like he said, on my own way. So just take a path, and I guess if I have to do something, it's I just question it. I don't go along with what they tell me to do or how it's supposed to do. I mean, I guess they tell me, yeah, read the Bible, all this, and I guess I'll tell them, yeah, I'll read it, but I really don't. I mean, I just like listening to it, and To me, it's just something that I guess as a person it would make me grow. I just want to learn like how to,
Be a good person.
I guess, yeah, a good person want to have better values than I have now, and
Yeah.
just because of that.
Well, you mentioned that you watch a few videos on YouTube. I kind of do the same thing, and I'm just looking for like a positive message, and you
Yeah.
know that's what it's more about for me. And I know Jesus talks a positive message. Even the Prophet Muhammad had a very positive message.
Yeah.
All of them had a very positive message, and and just kind of you want to learn a little bit more, and you just you're looking for that knowledge and positivity. At least from my perspective, it seems.
Yeah, I
like,
just get so interested. I just
you can just go down that rabbit hole, and you're just like, wow. So yeah, there's just a lot to learn, but you can find a lot of similarities in all the religions there, and that's good. You need somebody in your as partner who's going to be that positive force and kind of force the spirituality things, because that's a relationship has its own spirit, and
Yes.
that needs to grow and grow together. So I think that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You're opening your mind and your heart up to something that he
Yeah.
is passionate about, and I think that brings any couple closer. So yeah, that's I see some similarities there.
Well, that's the like spiritual part. I think when it comes to like holidays and stuff, that'll mostly be with the family. Like how we do it now, he spends it with us. His family's not very into celebrating things like that, so that makes it easier for us.
There you go. That's a plus.
No, I actually don't celebrate anything.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Not even
But if
birthdays.
I guess a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's
She
people
does.
there's people that don't like even birthdays. Like I've got like I know people that just don't. They don't care too much, and like the whole family was raised that way, and then they don't put a lot of emphasis on that, and that's okay because that's doing it. But like in our household, I remember like if we forgot Mother's Day, it was just the end of the,
Another day.
yeah, it's just go ahead and like but it's a big deal like the way we used to the way we grew up, and I think that's where we are now.
Yeah,
that's why we are the way we are now. But yeah.
Well, that's how it is kind of for us, because he grew up not celebrating that kind of stuff. He grew up not even remembering his sister's birthdays, and it's not like a bad. He didn't do it in a malicious way. He just didn't. It just wasn't something that they celebrated. Meeting me, it was very important for him to remember my birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas, all that stuff.
You better remember Valentine's.
Quick, when's her
Doesn't,
birthday?
It's like that's just
That's
a
the
made up
thing. He
American
doesn't
holiday.
celebrate Valentine's Day.
When's her birthday?
The same as yours.
And that is?
November
I
5th.
don't, November 4th.
Yeah, that's what
Ooh.
February 3rd.
Close enough. Close enough.
Oh.
Walker's sleeping on the couch.
I love sleeping on the couch, to be honest.
There you go. What? So we're talking about
The culture.
and then the holidays and
I was actually
religion.
gonna ask this because it kind of goes with what we were talking about. So, you get to learn about the other culture, right? And there are things that you learn about that culture, and it makes you realize things about your own culture that maybe you do different, or you lack certain things that other culture is like, oh man, like they're really good at doing this, or they're very, like you said, Colombian. They're very warm and they're very welcoming. Like have you seen anything that has made you realize, oh man, we're like so different in that?
Not so different, but yeah, to touch on those holidays, it's and I don't know, maybe it was a Bolivian or Colombian thing, but yeah, it seems like every time she would call down to Colombia, every week there was like a day, and there was like, some kind of holiday. They're always celebrating something, and like you said,
Fish
birthdays, Mother's Days, International Women's Days. Like I'm learning all these different things, and they always find a reason to party down there, and so like that to me was kind of, I wouldn't say a little funny, but I'm just like, why not? Why not find a reason to get with your family and have a good time? So yeah, that's something I don't know. We have our holidays here, and I know growing up, we celebrated a few, but didn't seem like we had as much fun as they did down there. So that's kind of something I'm like looking forward to. So, and I've been down to Colombia a couple times. I've met her family. We've been able to spend a little bit of time, and they're exactly how they are or described. And it's we wish we could spend more time with them. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was one thing that I found about her culture or her people, that they definitely you know,
Party a
yeah,
lot.
definitely party. They always had something, a reason to celebrate.
That is funny because those holidays that you speak of, like they'll be like whatever holidays, but they'll be like national holidays where like
Yeah.
they have the day off, like they don't
Well,
work.
it's
Yeah,
a
you're right.
religious country, so we have a lot of religious
Yeah, sure.
holidays.
Like a
Jose's
Santos Day.
days,
Yeah.
Maria's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Christmas is a
Saints-
lot longer
saints
celebration,
holidays.
right?
Yeah.
And, yeah. So.
Yeah, we celebrate until 40th.
Yeah.
December 40th.
Yeah, that's what I think. You're right. And you start like on the 1st of December,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, but
again,
then-
not growing up with like
then
so
it
much
goes.
Christmas. It was
goes until January 15.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
There's Reyes Magos and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Is,
So-
is that why we kept our tree up this whole time?
Is that why he's still up?
yeah, right.
No.
In Argentina, when we went to party over there, one time we spent, I think it was New Year's or Christmas, I forget. But, you know, she would tell me stories like, oh, you know, we party, you know, all the way to the next day. And I'm like, ah, sure, that's just the same.
Yeah.
I thought, I went and I was like, literally, we ran, so it was New Year's now that I remember. And we were dancing and I think we didn't have a Bluetooth or something, or like a way to connect to like the speaker system. So we ended up having we found a CD that had all this music. We played that CD like 5 times. We danced those songs,
That's
and it was like
awesome.
6 a.m. in the morning, and I was like still dancing. I was like, I don't know how we're doing this. Like I've never done that in my life. That was the first. I was so not jet lagged, but I was so thrown off. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep, and it was like daylight. The birds
Yeah,
are
he
singing.
hasn't done that yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not with you guys.
Yeah, you should. It's do it one time in your life, and I think you'll have enough of it.
Is your family, Laura? Is your family all in Colombia?
Yes, everybody's in Colombia.
You're the only one here.
It's just me.
You have some cousins here.
I do. I have some.
You have a cousin in
Oh well,
Boston?
now I have some family in Boston, but they just came, so it's new. But for the most part, everybody.
Who's back home?
And I have some extended family in Chicago that I haven't talked in a long time. But yeah, for the most part,
Hopefully
his
they're
family is my family. Maybe. His family is my family now, and I feel very comfortable with them, and
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky.
they make me feel very welcome.
How often do you go back to Colombia?
I try to go at least every 2 years.
Yeah.
But with the
Same here.
pandemic,
Okay.
so we went to
It's been
Is it
2 years now. Yeah,
2019?
no, it was 2019. We went.
April 2019, right? We went to Cartagena, which is the coast, and that was really fun
That
because my dad, my grandma, my mom, my dad's wife came to Cartagena, so they have to fly like an hour to meet us. So that was really fun, and we spent a good time in an all-inclusive resort. So that was really
Oh,
fun.
nice.
Very nice.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that was very fun.
So you teaching him any like the slang? Because actually Evelyn and I we watched the Narcos.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen that. And we could for like the longest time we were like, what was that
when
word?
we called
Parce.
it
We were like,
each
oh,
other.
parce this,
I
parce
say,
that.
yeah, she does, and pues, and
Parce.
Pues.
pues.
Yeah, we couldn't stop that.
Well, yeah. So Laura actually, she studied
you.
hospitality and tourism when she was in Colombia, and so
Oh,
she
nice.
actually, was starting a career in that, and gave a lot of tours, and met a lot of people from South America, all the countries, and she would always pick up on accents too. We were talking about that earlier, and she was pretty good at picking up, oh, this so and so's from here, and this person's from there. But yeah, that's what she was studying beforehand. So. Yeah, she's very familiar. Had a lot of gringos going down to
Yeah.
Colombia wanting to see.
Everybody from
Yeah.
all over the world. But
That's
Yeah,
true.
But mostly gringos.
Yeah, a lot of buddies go down there.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, do you celebrate? I don't know if you call celebrate. Do you do the Ramadan thing still?
I did when I was growing up. I participated as much as I could. It's definitely
Did you?
We're talking about yeah, There's
How
only one
old?
person who can
Until
judge
how
me here, but yeah, no, well, you do it, and once you're of age, so but probably did it for a few years in high school and things like that. But it's definitely it's tough. If you guys don't know, Ramadan, you fast for it's a Muslim holiday or Muslim tradition, but basically you fast for 30 days from sun up to sundown. You cannot have a drink or food in that time. But it's more, again, it's a test of your spirit. And if you can get through it, you do feel better about yourself. And it probably brings you closer to some type of spirituality. But that is one of those non-practicing Muslim things I don't look back on, you know. But I can't say that I would never do it again. But again, you know, it's not for me at this time. But
no, that's good.
It's coming up though. So
there's a lot of same thing I think in Christianity. There's a lot of fasting season. There's a fasting season that we have, right? Am I wrong?
That depends on the person. They decide if to go
on the
into
fasting.
Well, what's Lent? Exactly. Isn't that where you give up something?
Yeah, that's a type. Yeah.
Okay.
That's another type.
They just, I guess they say I'm gonna go on fasting, but they'll be just drinking water. Like my mom just does drink water for like 2-3 days and that's it.
Wow.
She doesn't eat or anything else. But that depends on the person. Maybe she would decide I won't eat meat from this day to another day, and I guess that depends on the person. Some other people, they take it like for like a week or not eating certain foods or drinks or whatever.
You give something up, kind of thing. Yeah, like you were talking about Lent. I think because I have a coworker, a friend. He was here, Saul, and he talked about that too. Because I grew up Catholic. I don't know if I don't remember this, but it was never something that I thought of. And he said, they do that. They go on like fasting time, and it's not just like. And I'm not trying to minimize what the Muslim religion does from something that is like a whole period or like a whole week without eating anything, and they just drink water. And I think the way he explained it to me is he said it's a moment for you to like be more connected spiritually to whatever that is, whatever that higher being is that you, right? God, right? So I think I found that interesting, and the reason I asked you whether you fast or not is like. I was gonna ask her if she's never done it, but if you haven't done
I
it,
could use some fasting. Especially before the wedding, I definitely.
Might start now.
I could use that too,
There you
especially
go.
during this pandemic.
Yeah, everyone can use a little fasting.
Yeah.
No, I think for Catholics too, we're supposed to give up meat, even though later on in life I learned what that really meant. It was kind of like giving up relationships. Yeah, just kind of give up something. My mom explained to me that just give up something that you really like.
Yeah.
Just kind of like as an act of being humble and being.
Well, yeah, just again, I guess you're kind of testing yourself and showing to God that you appreciate what He gives you by taking away something that you really enjoy and something that you probably don't need, but can have back at the end of the journey, I suppose. But yeah, it's all. They all go ahead.
This is it, right? Are we around that time? Easter.
Ramadan?
No, Easter.
No, yeah.
Easter,
Yes, this was
Yeah,
it.
because
Easter was Good
usually
Friday.
they usually finish around
we
this time.
definitely give up something yesterday when we wanted to do. We won't go into details.
It was a bad Friday.
There you go.
I didn't expect that, but okay.
There we go.
That's
But
the
no.
good part about us. You never know what to expect.
Oh goodness. No, but yeah, I don't think I've ever fasted. Because in high school, my friend I had a couple of friends that are Muslim, and it was new when I first heard of it. I was like, what? I came when I was 14, so I never knew that was a thing. And then they're like, yeah, we do this, and blah, 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 and they explained whatever they knew at the time because they were young too. And I would try to do it one time with them just to kind of see. It's tough.
It is.
It's a physical and mental challenge for sure.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
And you can, once you've gone through it, obviously it's hard in the beginning, and by the end of it, you think you're better for it, you're stronger, you can do it. But yeah, again, it's hard again because what you said about not being exposed to anything like that. Laura, coming from Colombia, she didn't have any Muslims, or there weren't too many other cultures around for her to learn from. So her coming here and being exposed to everything, kind of just like all at once. So when you came to this country, did you come here to Northern Virginia?
Yeah, we actually Annandale, right?
Annandale,
yeah, right here, right.
That's
right.
amazing.
Yeah,
Well,
we went to Annandale High School.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, Annandale High School is probably the most diverse high school in the country. You have so many different. Yeah, no, literally. And so yeah, to just be thrown in there, and yeah, you just got to have an open mind. But that's that's a great story. You gave it a try, and you kind of like just see what that's about. But but that's the hard part about being, in a society here where you're going to high school. You see, your buddy's eating lunch, and you're not. So and you're just kind of trying to find this. You're young. You don't really see the spiritual side of it. You're kind of just doing it to maybe appease your parents, but. Again, once you get through it, you feel a little bit better about it. But it's definitely interesting. If it'll probably be a lot easier if you grew up in just a Muslim society or a Catholic society where everybody's doing it. Yes, exactly.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, because now that you mentioned that, I remember that because there's all of us, like you said, we're all eating, and then there's our friend that usually sits with us, would sit there and they're not eating, and then like. You feel bad because you're eating in front of them, and then I'm sure they feel bad because they're not eating. But at the same time, and I think sometimes they just wouldn't sit at the table with us because it's easier that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then it's an interesting. Yeah, I remember when I tried it, it was not the same, and then it was not easy for sure.
No.
But yeah, and I think a lot of the. Like the differences that we have in culture, and because I think when we came here, we went to Antelope High School. I think when I was there was about 53 countries I think represented there, which is like just so many countries and so from many languages, exactly. So and we had that opportunity to like, even though at first it was kind of like wow, like. You're from like just seeing Bolivians every day to like seeing like from everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it's just so crazy. But that I think expedited the absorption and like the acceptance of things, because you saw like something like the clothing, what they were, like the way they spoke, the way they addressed each other. It was just different, but good at the same time. And I think with couples it's more intimate, and then you have more time to either question each other or also to absorb the different things that you do. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but you sound like you have a lot of openness. You understand a lot.
And you're right. I'm thinking about what you're saying there, and some couples or some people eventually want to maybe go back to something a little more familiar and be with somebody who's of that same background or culture too. So there's nothing wrong with that either. We're just, our differences bring us closer together, but I can also see the opposite working for couples as well. There's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to say something about the food though, because we were talking about that. But food is actually something that it does bring people together, and that's ultimately like you're exposed to every cultural food that you can imagine, and it's like you're not so stuck on whatever whatever your mom's serving you, because you got everything almost at your fingertips. And one thing she took me to a few Colombian restaurants. We have our favorite places around here, and I love empanadas, and that I just remember from our first few dates, that was kind of something that I was like, wow, so just food, and I think that's also something that brings everyone kind of. You guys had mentioned it before. It's like you gotta love the food.
You gotta give us some of those Colombian places, because I don't think I've ever been to a Colombian place.
Neither. Oh man, no, we're going then.
Let us know, and we'll. Actually, you have. Oh, thanks, Evelyn, for sharing. She's been to Colombia places, and we haven't. But
there's actually one by H Mart. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, thanks for sharing then.
Not H Mart, Fresh World.
Fresh World.
Over by the Burger King.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That is.
Aroma Cafe.
Aroma Cafe. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's where Mom and Dad get the pastries.
Yes.
Good.
Tell them and prueben las empanadas colombianas. Son muy ricas. Mamá y papá. Tienen que probarlas.
They have this bread that's very similar to Bolivian. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a cuñape. Maybe. Does that sound familiar?
I don't know.
Pan de bono?
That's thing. Like the coast. I'm from Medellin, which is the city. So, one of the cities. The one of the breads like that are from the coast, and I'm not sure what is it called.
Okay.
So I think it's cuñape, but that doesn't sound.
Is it pan de bono?
Pan de bono.
Is that what it is?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pan
de bono.
I'm cultured. There you go.
I think cuñape is from another
It's from Bolivia.
That's Bolivia.
It's
Yeah.
the Bolivian version of
Oh, I
pan de
love
bono.
That's what
banana
we
bread.
call
Oh,
it.
it's like it's.
See?
Cheesy bread.
I found it better than the Colombian one.
Oh,
I liked
really?
it better. I liked it better. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, get cuñapés, not pan del bono. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But is there anything that you have from your dad's side that's food that she, or I don't know, does your dad cook?
Oh, so it's like a Mediterranean diet. I know that's kind of a big thing now. You know, it's but my mom ended up spending time in Libya, so she learned to cook traditionally. And there's like sharba. I didn't like it as much. I'm not a big spicy food guy. And
Okay.
growing up, obviously, you know, when you got McDonald's up the street, and sometimes it's like, oh, but. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't necessarily appreciate as much as I should have was the food of my dad's culture. Maybe that's kind of why I liked Colombian. It was like they liked steaks and potatoes and just kind of something like
Yeah.
that. That was more of my style. And I remember I visited her in Medellin. We went to a mall and they literally had a steak place. It was kind of just like a fast food steak place. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I had my steak in the mall. I was like, this is cool. So yeah, that was actually her I guess the Colombian food, or even South America in general, like is more I guess my flavor, I suppose.
Awesome.
So
Good.
yeah.
For you, Juanka, what's your first favorite Bolivian dish?
I think it's called silpancho.
Yeah,
love it.
Still
Oh, yeah,
pancho.
that's
Yeah.
I made my dad try it. It's like, no, it's too salty. I was like, what are you talking about? I think I understood him because to me, I guess the very first time it's very salty, but I was like, it's too good. I just got used to it and I just kept on eating it.
After a while. Yeah, like they kept feeding him the food. Like, oh, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna like it.
Actually, I do that.
Yeah, especially when I'm dating her. Just dating her, I eat my food and it's like, do you want more? I was like, okay, a little bit. And it's like a complete full plate. And then she doesn't finish hers, so I gotta finish her plate too. So I'm like, okay, it's good, but you know, little by little, I'm just gaining weight.
I think we all go through that. I went through that too. And I mean,
That's
obviously,
part of being
obviously.
in a relationship, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, it is.
lagging.
It's the Wi-Fi.
It's delayed. Yeah. If you guys have your
Look at me
Wi-Fi-
moving around over there.
Oh yeah. Not you, Ronald. Not
I'll
you,
take this
Ronald.
time to look at some questions. 88 Gulfstream. Yep, here too, he says. I don't know. I'm reading.
What up, Gulfstream?
The ones at the bottom are the no sound or video.
What?
Oh, we got cut.
Now we're loading. No wait, now it's just loading.
Oh, we got cut a little bit.
Can you check on your phone? to see-
Well, maybe someone said something inappropriate and YouTube's cutting us out.
No.
Oh, I'm kidding.
One question got rejected. I saw. It's still up there.
Yeah, that's the one that I was trying to look for it. From 88 Gulfstream. He
Oh, it's
wondered
still
why.
loading.
Like, oh, can you click on open widget? I'll just-
Open widget.
Maybe too many people are
Keep
watching.
talking,
I just
We're
possible.
breaking the.
Yeah, I know, right? This is too
It's all
popular.
my posts.
Yeah.
I did that.
You guys can read them so you guys know what to ask when.
All right, so we can read them. I don't
Read
know.
it here.
I can't even read it. Sorry.
Says-
Which culture are the most
Superstitious.
superstitious?
Oh, I would
Oh,
say the
Yeah.
Hispanic culture.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The
Probably.
Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
little
a good
things.
question.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes with, or at least basis from like religious stuff, and then it just takes off on like
Yep.
on a tangent. It just, like,
Yeah,
just becomes
good
its own thing. Was there a lot of superstition when you were growing up?
No. At least I wasn't really exposed to it. They didn't really talk too much about it. But yeah, speaking about that, Laura's mom had spent some time at our house, or stayed with us for a few months there. But she left us with a few tokens that ward off the spirits.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, so we have a few of those hanging around. And
Yeah.
yeah, that and I like it. And there's nothing wrong with having them up there.
They have that in Bolivia. I don't know if they have that in Colombia, where you, like, when you first buy a home, you have to go, and we call it chayar, which just means you have to like bless the home before you actually live in it.
Oh.
Do you do that over there in Colombia?
I think so, but we did it when we first buy a house. But my mom got us this
Yeah,
little.
she got us.
She got us covered.
Yeah, she got the garlic going on.
She could tell.
Yeah.
We're back in business, guys.
Oh yeah.
What-
Oh, here we
oh,
go.
do the
Oh yes.
So I
Reminds me
guess
of, like,
Definitely.
like Colombia, like reggaeton.
Oh yeah.
like at a concert.
Yeah. All day.
All right, so we're gonna look at the question from 888 Gulfstream. He says, and we talked, I think, a little bit about this before we went back online. He says, which culture is the most superstitious? Consensus is it's the Latino culture.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we're offline again.
Uh-oh.
See the activity. We have peaks of activity. This is wonderful. They
People are looking at us, but then the internet is not strong enough for.
Let me ask.
Yeah. Next time we gotta.
Get the Ethernet cable.
Yeah, we gotta hook it up.
Yeah.
Is it the computer or is it the?
It's starting to go good again. So
All right,
Di-
cool.
I'm gonna unplug your Xbox.
You know, unplug my X. It's not even on.
It's like, how is that?
I'm gonna unplug your
Yeah.
Xbox, the refrigerator, real quick. We'll try anything. Yeah. I don't know. It's lagging again. I can see it lagging again.
Yep. I got a little bit of it right here.
Oh, you got it live.
All right. Is there any other questions we can like pre-read?
No.
No, right? No.
No.
Okay, good.
Back to lagging.
Someone commented, I want to visit Colombia too. So,
What are the good spot? What are good spots to visit in Colombia?
Yeah.
Tell him.
You're the tour guide.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's many spots. There are many spots, but Medellin, I love Medellin. That's where I'm from, and it's very fun and beautiful. Well, if you want the coast, Cartagena, San Andres, Santa Marta are fun. Nice weather.
Guatape.
Guatapé is wonderful, huge rock near Medellin that you can kind of climb, and it's very beautiful.
Great views. Yeah. Very scenic. Yeah. There's lots to enjoy in Colombia. So.
Lots of good music, lots of fun, lots of welcoming, and a lot of that.
That's good. Music. That's another thing we didn't touch on. But is that something that was? I mean, it's like very.
Yeah,
surprising.
I've been exposed to reggaeton.
Yeah.
You know, I've always liked it, but now I have a more of affinity for it. And, you know,
He just took it upon his own because he like.
that's true. She was more of my excuse. I'm like, here we go. Now I can play it with more confidence.
Now I have an excuse to blast
Exactly.
it in
Yeah.
the car.
Exactly.
people ask me, like,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
girl-
Exactly.
my fiance, Colombia.
You know, maybe like put like a little Colombian flag in my mirror. That might help.
Pull up a picture of Laura.
Exactly.
This is
Huh?
why.
Huh?
Yeah.
Laura's been mistaken as maybe Arab before. Indian.
Got
We've
it.
been out and
Black
you know,
hair.
I just
before.
thought the Indian guy was just trying to hit on my fiance, maybe. But it's like, are you from India? But I could see that. Laura's got a very diverse look. So.
Yeah.
But no, musically, yeah, she's that's another cultural thing. You know, I guess Colombia and South Americans definitely enjoy their music. Latinos in general, as far as I know, and love to dance, and that's one thing that I've been exposed to too.
Do you like dancing?
I like it more now. You know, it's always better with a partner. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I love dancing, and like my dancing is a little different, like salsa,
Yeah.
salsa. I love dancing
Love
that. But yes, like reggaeton and stuff like that, cumbia and things like that. He's very flexible. He's very
That's good.
open, and he likes to have fun. So it's very easy for me to share those things with him, because he likes to have fun, and he makes it very easy.
That's good. Yeah. How about what kind of music do you like?
Oh, I grew up in this. I grew up on hip hop and things like that. So yeah, but all in all, I like whatever has a good beat, and I know that I can say that I like all different
90s
genres there.
R&B.
90s R&B. That's probably my go-to there.
There you go.
Yeah.
He has shown me a lot of music too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I'm just forcing my stuff on him. He also has shown me like a lot of hip hop, rap, all of that music I like too. So
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I know for sure in our relationship, music is a big part. I'm more of like I'm very picky.
Okay.
I mean, I have a specific style, and then I hate reggaeton, but
Oh, sorry about
no.
that.
no, I mean it's all right.
It's not your fault.
What kind of music do you like?
Yeah, Laura, you gotta stop it with that reggaeton.
I'm old, so yeah, I love. They call it classic rock. I hate that name. I just like rock.
Yeah.
I love classic rock. That's the thing about me. I love all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I love classic rock too, like Argentina. Oh my
She
god!
wouldn't like my
Holland.
kind of music though.
Oh yeah, this guy
Yeah.
listens to
And I
screamos.
need to, yeah,
What's
yeah.
that?
And I need to-
Hardcore,
Oh.
metalcore, stuff
I
like
love
that.
when I think about it. I really
Wait, her or me?
Oh, her.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, "Ah, look at
Yeah,
And-
no, she would not.
I know.
No, I know what. I know all of those. Yeah.
You do? The screamos? There's the people that just scream on the mic, and then I mean I don't know. That's
Oh,
all.
yeah,
they
no,
do.
Yeah.
nah,
It's like
I don't
rock,
like
like heavy.
Metallica. I don't like
No,
metal.
I don't like
Heavy
metal.
metal, none of that.
They're not
Some-
screaming,
there's some
they're
good-
talking.
yeah,
I guess
there's
I'm
more-
not
Changing their voice.
Oh,
as
sorry,
verbal.
Dan.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
One thing about music too, we mentioned this earlier. My mom was a singer-songwriter,
Yeah.
so I was brought up on like live music and things like that. So any music live, regardless
Yes.
of what it is,
Yes.
I feel like you just can't help but get into it. So you know,
Oh,
you
yeah,
may not
for
be a
sure.
fan of it, but you're there and you're hearing it live,
It's
and
the experience.
exactly, and you
Yeah.
just start to absorb it because you just start tapping your foot or whatever just hits you. So. But yeah, it's good to be a fan of the classics, I would say, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
there's still some good music being put out now. I guess the older you get, you gotta kind of, you're not hearing it as often. So, but
Yeah.
and there's, you probably gotta like go through a lot of different songs to find actually something you like. But yeah, there's still good music being made nowadays too.
Yeah, definitely, and it also it helps to bring that relationship closer too, because like I noticed with my wife Evelyn, she sometimes she'll be listening to like a classic rock, or I'm listening to a song, and whereas like 5 years, 10 years ago, she'd be like, "What is that? That's so depressing," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," And now 10 years later, she's like singing along to
Yep.
that song, and I'm like, it makes me feel good. I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, you like this song? Oh, you remember the lyrics of this song, right?" Like,
Exactly.
and then the other way around too. I'm like, I put a cumbia, and I have fun with it, And then when I put cumbias, it's mostly like the funny cumbias to make her laugh, And then we're just like driving in the car laughing. But yeah,
That's some ghetto ass cool.
ghetto cumbias.
Some ghetto cumbias is what Evelyn said. How about you guys? You like the heavy metal, but you also like trap. Is that what it's called now? Trap.
Yeah, especially Bad Bunny. Not other trap.
Not
Oh,
other
he
trap.
is a
just
Bad
Bad
Bunny fan, right?
Oh, there you go.
We are.
Yo,
We
Piero
like it.
Solo.
Yeah. But
That's right.
I also like hip hop, rap. But mainly I stay with hardcore or metalcore. And
Oh,
sometimes I make her listen to my music, and she's like, I like that. And it make, like Hota says, it makes me happy, and sometimes it makes me tear up.
There you go.
Because she loves it. Because I
Power of music.
That's good.
All you hear is like,
Oh yeah, not a lot of people like that music.
and she does the same with me, and I'm like, okay, I never heard that song before, this kind of music, but I like it. I tell her I like your music too, but not all of it.
Yeah, not as much. But
Not the whole song, just the intro.
Just the ending. That way I know it's over.
But you also were exposed to Bolivian, like traditional Bolivian folkloric music. Do you enjoy? I mean, would you ever find yourself listening to it now? Right?
No, just when it comes to a parade,
To dancing.
Yeah, especially when the caporales music, it fires me up. But
Yeah.
I'm still learning. But when I see people dancing, it's like this song goes along with what they're doing. I was like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
But if I'm driving in my car, I don't think I would listen to it.
You start randomly dancing
Dancing in
in,
the car.
in the brakes.
Moving the car to the left, to the right, trying to dance to it. No, because I don't listen to like caporales or things because there's two types of dances that we do in Bolivian group that we have
major.
that we're part of, yeah. But there's other types of Bolivian music. Like there is a lot of traditional Colombian like folkloric music, right? So we have that. I think what is it, vallenatos? Is that a Colombian thing?
Yeah, it's
Right?
definitely a Colombian thing.
Right. So yeah, I think so. That's one of the things. Like, there's a lot of Bolivian music that's folkloric that you don't dance to. That is just like
Oh.
good music. but I don't think.
I don't think he knows any of that
I don't
music.
think he
Like
knows.
Los Carcas,
Do
I
you
don't
know
think.
about him,
Just Los
Daniela?
Carcas. Just Los Carcas.
There you go. See, but I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If you don't give it a try, maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. You know, you either give it a shot and try it. I tried listening to hardcore metal, whatever you call it. I couldn't get into it because it's just
You can't understand what they're singing, but
yeah. But and you even have list. I think you showed us one time. There's a Christian version of hardcore metal.
I mostly listen to those though.
Yeah.
The ones that are like kind of like satanic lyrics, I would stay away from them. But if they sound let's say the guitars and all the instruments, they sound good. It's like I'll just
Give
bob
it
to
a
it
shot.
and then, but I wouldn't sing along with it.
That's right.
But I mostly stay away from those. But
There's that.
the ones that had like a good positive message, I would listen to them.
I didn't even know that was a thing until he showed me one time. Like hardcore metal that talks about Christianity. I didn't know that it was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were like mutually exclusive, but I guess not.
There's actually like any kind of Christian rap or stuff like
Yeah.
that. or-
Even reggaeton.
you're right.
they
Yeah,
do.
we listen to those. in
But
the car
I
sometimes.
don't listen to
you
that,
can
so I
dog
just
into
tend
the
to.
reggaeton.
Nah, I don't think they would do that. Grinding in the church and stuff. No, that would be a sin. That would be ironic.
This is my jam, holy Jesus. I love
No, but it's interesting. Is there like Ali? Is there anything like from music on your side? I mean, your mom is a musician, you said, but on your dad's side, because I have friends that are not necessarily from Lebanon. You said Lebanon, right?
Libya.
Libya.
Yeah.
But there's from they're Iraq, and I've listened to their music. It's different, but
Very nice.
we've been to weddings and things like that. Very catchy, very upbeat.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, it all kinds of, to me, it kind of, I won't say sounds the same, but I can't really describe it. We weren't really brought up on like the Muslim or traditional Arab music. My dad was a fan of like 70s classic rocks,
There
and
you
so
go.
yeah, he
Very
fell in love with like that genre when he came here to this country too. So yeah,
Nice.
we were exposed to that, and that's probably why my mom and him were able to kind of relate to. They definitely enjoyed the music of the time there. So
They had things in common.
very much.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool. Because that's what Jota likes, I think. 70s rock.
Yeah, 70s, all the rocks. I just like rock music. If
Yeah.
it has a guitar and it has a guitar solo, I'm most likely like it.
well, like Hotel
But not
California
metal.
is a song that I
There you go.
realized Laura knew all the lyrics before
Yeah.
we ever met, and I was like, oh, that kind of surprised me. But yeah, there's definitely some classics.
The English version? Because there's a Spanish version, I think.
Oh yeah, no, the English version.
Oh,
Yeah, the
nice.
English version.
Very nice. I didn't know there was an English version until I came here. I thought it was all in Spanish.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's actually funny because there's a fusion of popular American songs like Hotel California, another one, Clocks.
Careless Whisper.
All these songs. A friend of
In
mine.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my friend, he is German, and he brought me the CD, and it was all salsa, but it was all like Hotel California, and I was like, "Oh, this is like the weirdest mix," and it was like kind of catchy, and I was like,
That's pretty
it's
cool.
a mix, yeah.
Yeah. That's, wow.
Yeah.
Do you dance salsa? No, speaking of salsa, I think we talked about it earlier.
With a partner, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
There
taught
go.
him?
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, I can't dance salsa to save my life. Like I've tried.
Again, you got to get yourself a good partner. They'll make you look great.
Nella.
Nella,
Yeah,
step it up,
yeah.
Nella.
Wait, I have a question for you guys now. So for instance, Evelyn and I were married. I only like to dance with her, and if I'm not dancing with her, I'm not dancing with anybody else. Like, how is that like with you guys? Like, you guys dance? Are you guys?
He cannot dance with anybody else.
There you go. See,
I
there-
can.
I would get whipped.
Not by choice, I suppose.
What?
So you would, like a girl came and it was like, or let's just say
forbidden.
you guys are at a party, and all the girls are doing the typical circle where no one has a partner and he's just chilling there, and a girl comes and it's like, hey, you wanna dance?
Yeah, I don't know.
Golly.
We'll see. I was just.
It's hard to think back on those times. We've been so cooped up for this past year, It's like, did we go out and dance before? I'm trying to think. I remember one girl, we were at a club, we were out with friends and stuff like that, and I may have danced with another. It just didn't feel right,
Yeah.
and just I definitely would not like to see Laura dance with another guy. Or,
No.
You know,
Aw,
but.
really?
She said, "Oh."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I would be flattered if another guy asked her to dance. You know, that's a compliment in its own way. So
How about
it depends on how appropriate he is.
Not reggaeton.
Oh no,
He's
that's not
trying
true.
for
She's
you.
she's
Yeah.
absolutely right. No. That's a great point. No, because there was a club here in Northern Virginia. It was called the Salsa Room.
Yes.
I think it's out in Tyson's now. But regardless, we would go, and I'm not the best salsa dancer, and she is really good. So watching her perform and go with somebody who knew what they were doing, yes, I
That's
could.
what I was
I
thinking.
did that a few times, and I enjoyed it because
That's
again,
good.
seeing her perform at her best, it was definitely because I felt like I was holding her back a little bit.
I'm in the same boat because like she loves to dance,
Okay.
and I don't like to dance. And sometimes she would go to parties and she would dance sometimes with other guys and
Yeah.
girls, and I'd be like, okay, whatever. All these people is Bolivian dance, and like they don't touch, right? Or-
Exactly. I was thinking reggaeton at first, and I was like, yeah, maybe not so much, but yeah, a traditional dance, a salsa, yeah, there's definitely some beauty to.
Have you seen bachata?
Yeah. No,
And
you're right. That
bachata.
could
Oh
be
my
a little,
God.
that could be
One
a little
time-
too much.
We went to we got invited by one of her friends, and she was like, "Oh, it's like a dance club, and these are people who are really into it, right?" And we're like, "Okay, let's go check it out." And I was like, "Sure, let's go." We went, we got there. The place was, I think it was empty at the moment, so we just kind of sat, and then people started just getting up and dancing, and they were dancing bachata. And I'm telling you, like a few girls got pregnant that day. They were there, like they crossed their legs and they do all these movements. And my mind was blown. I was like, "You're not dancing bachata anytime soon with anyone else."
Yes, good point.
Some people are like, actually, those people are very like, you would call it professional. I don't know, but there was like guys and girls that would, and then they would dance guys and guys too, like, and they would be like doing the same type of moves,
have never
maybe
seen
not
that.
crossing the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Pull up the salsa room. They have all this videos on
Yeah, yeah,
on
like-
so
Facebook.
cool.
Yeah, they're like very like, okay, I'm just dancing and this is it.
Yeah,
And then they, all right, we're done. And then they go
exactly.
with
They
another
all
guy.
know the moves and things like that, and yeah, they know when to
But I
switch
think
partners.
bachata is very intimate. Salsa,
It
you
can be,
have
yeah.
a lot more room. It's more like
Yeah, you kind of like extend,
Spinning,
come back.
yeah, exactly. Not
it's more
so-
technical and instead of like sensual.
Yes, you're right.
Bachata is very sensual.
Yeah,
I think the point of it is
like the
to,
lambada.
use the
Remember the
body.
lambada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The forbidden
movements
dance.
with the,
The
body.
forbidden dance. There you
Yeah.
go. Lambada.
Where did bachata originate from? Does anybody know?
Dominican Republic.
Okay, yeah, that
Point.
makes sense.
Who do you
Get
Yeah.
a point.
Yeah.
Punta?
Oh, she's great. in
Yeah,
this.
Punta is from Honduras.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, punta. Is,
Punta is a little.
It's a little.
It's hard to watch sometimes,
Why?
Because they do like the
Flips?
motion. No, it's the like a butt motion. Like that's the thing.
It's like Latino twerking, like before
Oh,
twerking.
Oh,
was
it's
a
like
thing.
the African
Yeah,
style.
they like move. Yeah.
But it's a traditional dance?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
like you'll see the little girls do it when
Honey, why do you watch it? This tradition is.
Yeah, exactly. It's tradition.
Like, that was actually really hard for me to watch because the first time I saw that was at a birthday party it was a wedding. Went to a sister's wedding celebration, and a lot of family members or just friends that they had came, and they started dancing a little bit. It was more the little kids who started dancing. Like the parents just got them together and they were like clapping, like watching them dance, and then they put on some punta music, and this little girl who was dancing, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
And like you see like the older men, like the moms too, they're like clapping, and I'm just like, oh no. Like we don't do that in Bolivia, so that was something like I had to learn.
Yeah,
But like punta,
culture shock.
yeah, like you see that, and I was like, oh, okay. But then he later showed me videos. And,
Oh, then he
more
showed you how to
music.
do it. It's not bad.
Everybody does
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Let me show you. This is how we do it.
I'm a bad dancer, but I know how to do it. But I won't dance in front of anybody. I'll just show her.
Is
and
it
that's
both guys
Yeah,
and
guys
girls
and
do it
girls
too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Same moves.
I
Guys
guess,
is a
yeah.
little different. Girls is a little more like use your hips more.
So what if you guys are at a party and like some girl comes up to Juanka and just starts like,
I'll get in trouble.
I'll get into a fight right then and there.
We don't have that.
And if
sound.
it's for me, I think I would let her out. I wouldn't, but I know her. She wouldn't dance with any other guys. I would let her dance, but as long as not too sensual, too like
Too
close to
bachata.
each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
yeah, no. If you guys probably don't know, but like Bolivian parties, they're a little bit different. Like especially like the ones that are very like more traditional. This is a funny thing that I never noticed until Evelyn pointed out to me is that Bolivians, we get in a line, like we all just get like guys and girls,
Oh, really?
and then we just
It
dance.
happens.
And I never knew that. Like to me, it was just like, this is whatever, right? But you're like, you guys always get in a line.
Like
Why don't
it's
you
not
just
a
go?
dance room.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a thing. It's like
Like
we
a spread
literally
around.
get into line.
It's
And
like
when
a
we no longer
formation.
And you're like
fit,
facing your partner.
Yeah, you're facing your
Oh,
partner,
that's cool.
and then sometimes if like the room is not
Can't
big
fit.
enough, you have like multiple lines, but you're like facing your partner.
Wow.
Like you're
Yeah.
dancing with your partner, but then
You
you
guys
also
need to
have
invite
your
us.
side partner. So
Yeah,
you're like
definitely.
dancing,
When
you're
the-
like, yeah, it's good music.
That's cool.
Yeah,
When the
please
parties,
invite us.
when the parties start popping up again, Bolivian parties, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, once we get back in the
Keep us in
in the
mind.
groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's something that I think I didn't think about, and somebody, I don't know if Evelyn, somebody else pointed out to me as well, and it was just strange that
Yeah.
not after thinking about it after the fact. I was like, you're right. It's like weird that we all do, but we continue to do it even after they pointed it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This feels
So how are
right.
you gonna tell them to stop? Break it
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
moving
Hey,
it
guys,
out here.
stop being weird.
Exactly. Let's just randomize this. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
you here.
Like, let's find any place, but it's like, no, we have to be part of the line.
Wow.
Yeah. The only time that kind of breaks is when like they put bachata, because then everybody just has to like spin and do whatever.
Yeah.
But then they put like some remotely close to like Latino, not Latino, but like Bolivian, like salsa, for instance. Actually, no, salsa you have to dance. Yeah, like cumbia would be something that's
Yeah.
very popular. Like like the lines like you see like two lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. Yeah.
Did you know, Ali, that there's like almost every country has a different version of cumbia, right? Did you know that, Laura?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a Bolivian version of cumbia, there's a Peruvian version of cumbia, and I'm sure there's a
Well,
I
I
think cumbia is
thought cumbia was from Colombia.
It originated in
Yeah,
Oh,
Colombia.
it
yes.
did?
Yeah, it
Oh,
did.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess it
that's the
wasn't.
origin from it, but then like everybody took it.
We
And I
liked it
think-
so much.
Yeah, and then I think there's an Argentinian, of course, version of
Isn't that like
cumbia. It's
Chero?
cumbia
Yeah, the
bichera.
Is there a like a Bolivian dance?
think
Like
so.
a,
Like a traditional?
Yeah, exactly. Like
There's like,
Colombia has cumbia. And,
We've got like 5, 6 big ones, like Tincus, Caporales. Then we've got Morenada, Cueca, Diablada,
Guaño.
Huayño. So there's a bunch. There's
Oh,
like
sure.
traditional, but like the one that I think it's kind of strange is like we call it Diablada. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Laura.
No.
So Diablada is like you dress up as the devil, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you've got a costume, it's all red, and it's like
Got,
everything, and then
sparkles.
the mask is the devil's or whatever you would think, if
Yeah,
you imagine the devil,
demon,
yeah, and it's got horns going up,
Wow.
and then it's traditional to a place in Oruro, right? And I think, and I may be wrong, so I apologize, but this is what I heard, and this is how it came about. So the Oruro is a city full of mines, or at least it was. I think it still is. So
Okay.
Oh wow.
so the guy, so the miner would have to go down to the mine to dig, as you all know, right? So the thought was that's the devil's home, right? That's where he lives. So we're gonna pay respect to the devil because we're in his home. So that way the mine does not collapse on that. So then they have that, and then that's a ritual, and then I think that's how and where that Diablada dance
Okay.
evolved.
Wow.
There's an angel
Yeah.
too, and I don't know where that angel came from. I think if it was later added on or if it was part of it. But you're right. There's an angel. They have a bear.
A bear.
Oh, a bear.
They've got some random characters in that dance.
A bear.
There's like a bear in there, but there is an
Google
angel.
this when we come home.
Yeah, no, you guys.
That's a
w-
very
and
traditional. Yeah.
you guys should go to the Bolivian festival. It might not happen this year, but if it does, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
And all these dances are there, and I guess you guys had no clue about this. I thought a lot of people knew about this because of the parades. Like 4th of July parade, for instance, is one of the ones that, all these Bolivian groups go. Like they show the caporales and everything. So, yeah, we'll let you know for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Daniel, come on.
For the minor stuff that Ronald was talking about, if you actually listen to the song, I forgot what it was called. It was like Lala.
Oh, I think it's called La La La.
La la la.
Yeah.
I forget the singer.
Naughty Box.
Yeah,
Naughty
that by
something?
Naughty Boy, I think. I don't know.
Naughty Boy.
Something like that. But that actually, if you watch that YouTube video in full, you'll actually see what he's referring to at the end of the video.
Yeah, he actually went to Bolivia to
Record.
La Paz.
Yeah. Oruro.
Oruro. He went to Oruro and he made a whole story. But yeah.
Naughty boy.
Naughty Boy.
We're kind of running out of time.
Yes, we are. We are. I think we have been talking for a while. Thank you very much for coming on.
Hey.
Is there anything else you would like to say before we turn off the mics?
Or any plugs?
Any plugs?
Yeah.
No, nothing. It was totally our pleasure. It was very nice. And if you guys ever want to have us on, we would be open to it. This is we popped our cherry.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
There you go.
Yeah, that was
I almost
fun.
went this whole time without making it awkward.
You guys, Juanka, Daniela. Sorry.
Anything we want to say?
Any plugs?
Yeah, anything you want to plug or you want to say? Go ahead. Who's Gador? You can do it. We give you permission.
I suck at playing games, bro.
He's good. He's good. Every time he's online, I watch him for a little bit. I try to stay there as long as I can. But for me, as a gamer, it's hard to watch other people play.
Yeah.
But I definitely, like yesterday, I was there for a good while, and then you doing some kills. So yeah, he's good. We call him, what do you call it? The claw player? Is that claw? Is that what it's
The
called?
claw
Oh yeah,
technique?
Oh,
claw when you use
Yeah.
4 or more, 3 or
Finger.
more fingers when you hold in the
Because
phone.
he's playing on the phone, so you have to like use
Ah.
because normally you just use this, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do video games, and then maybe this, but then he has to adjust his hand to be able to play it and touch the screen with different fingers to be able to do
Yeah,
whatever.
it's a bit challenging, but
It's
with time
definitely-
you get used to it.
Does it hurt?
For some people it does. For me, at the beginning it would hurt, but not anymore. I
Get
just got
used to it?
used to it.
My hand cramps up when I'm trying to take a selfie sometimes. I was like, I can't do it.
Oh,
So,
believe me, it does cramps when I get into intense fights because I'm like, yeah, so
Yeah.
intense. I'm like, and then I end up dying,
well,
I gotta
as long as you're getting paid for it, then yeah, it's
Yeah,
worth
there you
the
go.
pain is worth it.
There you go. How about you, Daniela? Any plugs? What is it called? Daniela's by Claw?
No.
Oh.
I got my little. Oh, I'm starting my little nail salon. It's called Nails by Danny,
She
but
doesn't
the
even know
by
the
is
name.
X. So it's
Oh.
Nails X Danny.
Nails X Donnie. So if y'all need nails done
Ladies.
for a wedding or something like that, I'm kidding.
I do acrylics and gel.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You don't have to use this. She's not good. What?
Evan, show your nail. Oh, you took him down.
She took it out.
Edit that part.
We'll edit it.
She is good.
She's very good. But yeah, thank you all. Any guys? Anything y'all want to say before we call it a day?
Nah, thank you, both couples. We learned a lot about the different cultures and the struggles, so it was very informative. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for inviting us. guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you to our sweeties
pleasure.
for
Yeah.
bearing with us with that lag. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, come on, man. Unplug the Xbox next time.
I did. See,
Wow.
it got better when I unplugged it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good night or
Bye-bye.
good afternoon.
Thank you.